Hey guys, what's going on? I know my hair's a mess. It just happens. That's the way I lay on it. Something happens. Bed head. Anyways, you're just getting me in, and it looks like my laundry in the scene here. Well, I have to put that away for the next one. Well, listen, you guys, I'm still in Exodus. We can Exodus. We could hear enough about Exodus to last us a lifetime. There's so many different things that you could pull apart in it. It's so beautifully written. But I'm going to help you with one right off the bat. We're in Exodus 4. Exodus 4:4 is going to be representing worlds, which is that the idea of the traveling 1, 2, 3, 4, going from the west to the north, which is our emotions, to the south, which is our body, and to the south or the east, which is representing our spiritual side. So I'm only going to read the first 8 businesses in this Exodus, and we're talking chapter 4. And Moses answered unto him, and behold, they will not believe me, nor hearken unto my voice. For they will say, the Lord hath not appeared unto thee. And the Lord saith unto him, what is that in thine hand? And he said, a rod. And then number 3. And he said, cast it on the ground. And cast it on the ground, and it became a serpent. And Moses fled from before it. 4. And God, the Lord said unto Moses, put forth thine hand and take it by the tail. And he put forth his hand, and he caught it, and it became a rod in his hand. That's the first 4 worlds. It's this idea of, this is one of the first ways that he's going to show them how to do it. And this is how to use his kundalini. This is this idea. I'm not kidding you. This whole thing is about this interior business. How will they know that you spoke with the God? He says, well, I want you to do this. And he took what's in his hand and he cast it on the ground. Remember, everything's about that hand. And then he grabbed it, he reached out with his hand and he caught it by the tail, and it turned into a rod. Well, this is rod. This is that rod that people get ruled over by. That's the rod that's our backbone. Okay, so let's get that out the way real fast. The second one comes next. Is this, and it says here that they may believe that the Lord God of their father, the God of Abraham, God of Isaac, God of Jacob, has appeared unto thee. That's the first one. It's the only place you can do it. This is the only way that you can get any of these spiritual things to come alive, is you have to evoke the chakra system. Okay? So, and what does this have control over? Well, and the Lord said furthermore unto him, put now thine hand unto thy bosom. And he put his hand into his bosom, and when he took it out, behold, his hand was leprous as snow. That's talking about death, all right? And number 7, and he said, put thine hand into thy bosom again. And he put his hand into his bosom again, and he plucked it out of his bosom, and behold, it was turned again as his other flesh. Now that's the third of these worlds. And number 8, and it shall come to pass, if they will not believe thee, neither hearken to thy voice of the first sign, and they believe in the voice of and they will believe in the voice of the latter. Okay, now, where are you at? What it means is you have the power in that same hand over life and death. All right? You can do without this and die, or you can do what I tell you to do and live. That's the story. Okay? And those are the 2 signs that God gives people to try to talk them into this business. Now, I have some trouble. Hey, Rick, have you met up with God? Yeah, I did. I used this kundalini. Oh, no, you didn't go and see God. Well, damn. Do you know what it says after that? He says what you should do is you should take some water out of some place, and pour it over 'em. Pour it over the dry land, and it'll become as blood. All right. And so this is that if they don't want to believe you, if they don't want to come, let them die, let them live, let them think what the hell they want, let them do what they want. All right. And so this is how it works, anyways, because while he's up on the mountain, they're down below, doing things that beasts do. All right. And while I still have a minute, do you know that this whole story is only about Moses? This is Moses and God. And all these people and all these things and all this stuff are the body parts. This is when you're looking at the story as it goes. And I bet the story is one world after another. All right. And so you'll find out what part of the body they're talking about if you understand the world. The idea of the world is a traveling situation, and the way they write it in the Bible is it's going to be the first, second, third, and fourth. The second is always going to be something kind of like spiritual, because it's the emotional side of us. This is where God speaks to you. You go in and talk maybe right in here. And the spiritual side is always the east, the last one, the fourth one. And with the body part being the third part. All right. See you soon.